2021 was undoubtedly the year of Solana, so we are calling it Ethereum killer, at least a viable alternative really. Really impressive history, and there are a lot of people who have made fortunes and literally went 100x, shocking even the most hardcore believers. But it's 2022 now and things are different. So I'm wondering, does Solana still have 10x potential, or is it bound for more pain after already dropping from 85% from its all-time high in 2021? To answer this question, we have to look at three things, in particular Solana's past, present, and future. In just a moment, we are going to look at all the bullish things that are going in Solana. But first, we got to start with a couple of problems that began in the past but still have not been resolved yet. The first is all the network issues they have faced, call it DDoS attack, network congestion, whatever. All I know is that this was not happening one time. It has been happening ever since they launched, and I count at least 10 to 15 occasions that the incident happening, depending on how you slice them. Without getting too deep into details, I think a big reason why this happens is because of their network architecture. Solana optimizes for fast and cheap transactions, which is great, but unfortunately that allows people to spam the network. Like when there's a hot NFT mint, people create bots that spam the network with thousands of transactions to try to claim the NFTs. They do it that because the gas fees are so incredibly cheap, because the problem is the network gets clogged up and validators cannot operate anymore and everything just stops working. The problem just got so bad that after a few weeks ago, we saw Solana validators consider banning certain smart contracts to reduce spam in the network. That's definitely not the right solution, because that's straight up censorship which goes against the very core blockchain fundamentals and the decentralization fundamentals, obviously. But I understand why they are so desperate to find a solution, because whenever the network crashes, it stays down for hours, if not days, and that's could be catastrophic for DeFi users. If someone has defined loans or on Solana, they may get liquidated, or they may not be able to top off their loans just in time, as we have seen in the just current scenario with Celsius, Terra Luna, and other protocols. And this is an alerting situation for the next project, that is Solana. So they have to find another way to pay off their loans. So it isn't just a theory, by the way. It happens Solana users as well. During the January outage and the previous outages we have seen, and a lot of people got wrecked for no fault of their own. So that's why I think this is an existential crisis for the team to fix. I don't know when it's going to take, but maybe adding a fee market or switching to a modular design, but whenever is they have to fix it before the next bull run, or Solana will not be able to take that next step. The next second issue that worries me on Solana is their tokenomics. Remember this chart from Misari that shows Solana having one of the worst insider concentrations out there. Close to 50% of the initial token supply was allocated to the insiders. If we look at their token supply curve, we see that the biggest unlocks are behind us, which means that the insider have had opportunity to dump their tokens. Surprisingly, the price of Sol did not dump. When those unlock happened, most likely the insider whales were benevolent and bullish, but here's the catch. They got in at such low prices that even if we are at a crash of approximately 85% from the all-time high, they are still in profits about 100x from their initial investment. I expect them to take profits aggressively, which would be terrible for the holders at the moment, who brought in at much higher prices. But I don't want to dwell on the past, because the video is about Solana's future. After all, let's move on to the present. Look at state of Solana right now. In terms of Solana metrics, they are quite healthy. Solana's total value locked is still sitting at approximately $1 billion. Even after a 6 month or 6 to 8 months of bear period, their number of validators have grown exponentially. At the beginning of year, the concentration has been improving steadily, measured by the coefficient that they are more decentralized by before. However, their validators, or the equipment that is used for validation of Solana, is quite expensive. Therefore, sometimes it's referred as the mainframe validation system, and not many people can afford it. So this is quite centralized system at the moment still, compared to the other cryptocurrencies. Before speaking of staking, they have 73 of their available token state, which is one of the highest compared to its peers, and And lastly, their development growth has also topped the charts per most person data. I think a big reason why their metrics are doing well is because of their NFT scene is absolutely popping. Look at they are only second to Ethereum in terms of sale volume. In the past 30 days, they have done over 300 million in NFT sales. Their unique buyer chart is also trending up and just right one to Solana. Explanation for this is that Solana offers low fees and fast speed, which is why the people want thing. Another explanation for this is a lot more quality marketplaces that support Solana these days, like OpenSeas and Rarible, both starting to support Solana and mints recently. There's Magic Eden market on the Solana native space marketplace doing quite well. Even the FTX launched their own marketplace which supported Solana from the beginning. So with all these options out there, there's no surprise their NFT sector is still popping despite the bear market. It's not only NFT though. Solana has been a part of bunch of high profile integrations across the board, like Coinbase is starting to list Solana tokens for the first time ever in January. Brave browser decided to integrate Solana into their browser, allowing the 42 million users to access Solana dApps seamlessly. Phantom, the popular browser wallet for Solana, is doing amazing as well. They have surpassed 2 million users recently and reached a $1 billion valuation after the most recent fundraise. So the Coinbase, Brave, Phantom, all of these are helping grow the activity and adoption across Solana ecosystem. But remember, the point of this video is to analyze how Solana will perform this year or in the next bull run. So far we have looked in the past and the present, and the only thing missing is this future. Specifically, there are three things in particular I am looking out for this year. First are the hot projects launching on their ecosystem, just like StepIn. This is a fascinating project where you can walk or run or perform your daily walking routine, and just you can earn tokens such as GMG or GST that is already launched on Solana platform, and you might have observed that it has grown exponentially since its launch. The initial success of another project I'm excited about is Neon EBN. They are building an Ethereum comparable environment on Solana so people can use their favorite Ethereum dApps but with a fast and cheap experience. It looks like they are the only on testnet right now, but I'm hoping they'll launch on the Solana mainnet before the end of the year. These projects and the other ones matter a ton because it's going to take successful apps and protocol being built on Solana in order for it to succeed in the long haul. But if we take a step back from all of these individual projects, I really like Solana's broader strategy of focusing on gaming. Because gaming is a massive industry that fits well with the blockchain. In my opinion, according to a report, the global gaming industry is expected to reach $315 billion by 2027. And Solana is making a huge bet on this trend with their multi-billion dollar funds raised and are investing in gaming related to companies. One partnership that I really like is their partnership with Krafton, the parent company of the PUBG mobile game. They are exploring NFTs for the video games. That is quite early, but I hope the same sick games will come out of sooner rather than later. The second thing I'm looking out for is all the partnership in around Solana ecosystem courtesy of FTX. All we know that Sam Bankman-Fried is and his FTX empire has been long a supporter of Solana. So all their mastermind and the partnership making marketing moves on the Solana for the benefit of the ecosystem. For example, Coachella launched their NFT partnership with FTX, and of course they were on Solana, and all their sports related deals were with Miami Heat, Tom Brady, Stephen Curry, and all of those will benefit Solana in some way, which if they launch anything and will likely to be on Solana. And the third thing I'm looking out there are big upgrades or changes to the network itself. For example, Solana has been long in the beta mode, but eventually they gotta fix their bugs and put on the official 1.0 version, so that is they finally lose the beta tag. And obviously I hope the DDoS attacks and the network congestion issues be solved before the next bull run. But I wouldn't hold this too much Solana this year, as I think they have a ton of potential with all this growth and integration and partnership in a bear market right now. So because of that, we have to be aware of the fact that potential selling pressure for insiders to be kept in mind already, as they already did 100x in 2021. So it's unlikely for them to do it again anytime soon. but maybe it can pull a 10x, but I think it's more likely to drop a furthermore from this point right now. Moving on towards the long-term technical perspective and analysis on Solana. Firstly, starting off with the Fibonacci retracement level. This is the weekly chart on Solana. As we have seen, mostly the altcoins have been bleeding tremendously, so Solana is no different. Although Solana pulled off approximately $250, or to be precise, $260 of its all-time high from the current price, which would approximately require Solana to do a 9x from this point. But right now I expect Solana to drop further. Currently Solana has been observed bouncing again and again from the $29 mark, although Bitcoin is performing really bearish moves right now. So Solana can have a strong support at this level where it is currently trading, but if it falls down, I expect its next strong support to be around $22 to $18 range, and these are still not the price where I would start to accumulate Solana, as I still think the prices of everything right now is being affected by the federal government's influence, and that is how my long-term dollar cost average for Solana is approximately $17 to $9 range. However, my targets for Solana till the next bull run are about $282,000, and to support this calculation, Solana market price currently is at $10 billion, and I am saying the most conservative price is about $280. That would be approximately a 10x for here. That would require a market capital of $100 billion. That's a very reasonable and conservative approach, and if I want it to be approximately $1,000, for $1,000 the price of Solana is approximately 33.33 times, so it would require a market capital of $333 billion. That is even lower than the Ethereum's market capital in the last bull run, which I expect the total market capital of the cryptocurrencies would approximately be $7 to $8 trillion. That is a very conservative estimate considering the inflation and the increase in the interest of investors in the cryptocurrency market, especially the blue chip projects, and having a wider adoption in the ecosystem. So Solana can easily pull up to $82,000 if we consider the facts that were bullish on Solana. Also considering the fact we need to be aware of not allocating too much on Solana due to the fact of the DDoS attack and the existential crisis I discussed in this video. Moving on towards the Solana circulating supply, as per Message chart, on top price of Solana, that was $258 in the bull run on 6 November. However, their supply has increased from about at that time the supply was around 303 million, and right now we are standing at an increased supply of 342 million. That is approximately a slight increase in the supply, and in the next bull run, which I expect to be around 2024, we can see the supply of Solana to around 400 to 500 million tokens. So that is still considered in the price analysis that I performed for Solana. You can also explore the different metrics of Solana using the explorer.solana.com. Overall, I am still bullish on Solana, and that is why I'll be allocating approximately 10% of my portfolio for Solana. If you are still interested to know what bear market strategies we should adopt to recover your losses, then you need to check the video given on this video. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe to the channel. Bye bye.